What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Talk It Up with Cindy and Jerry.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there?
So today's topic on our podcast is D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. So I've been playing it for a while.
For a while, he was playing before I even met him. So
before Warcraft.
I had no idea.
And you had no idea
about D&D, what it was, until one day.
You said we were hanging out downstairs. Go ahead.
Yeah, him and I were, when we first started dating, I was hanging out upstairs in his mom's apartment, and he disappeared. You know, he said I'd be back later. And I go looking for them. They're downstairs, all of him and his friends hanging out downstairs in the lobby with dice and papers. I didn't know what
books.
It was. Yes. And I started asking questions, and they kind of explained it to me.
Right.
And
so for those, Dungeons and Dragons has been out there for a while. I've been playing since the early 80s. Mm-hmm. There was a cartoon for it.
Yeah, and then they made movies in the 80s.
Right. They made the movies in the 90s. Yeah. Yes. But I guess if you weren't into the cartoon, you didn't know about it. Mm-hmm.
Now, in the last couple of years, it's come back mainstream because of Stranger Things.
I think Stranger Things...
And celebrities have been playing it, so they talk about it a little bit.
I think before Stranger Things, it was already on its rise back.
Yeah.
Stranger Things definitely threw it out there because it kind of captured the 80s, and that's when it was out there.
Okay.
What they didn't capture was, in the 80s, it got a lot of bad press.
Yes. So I didn't know this either until he told me about it.
It was in the news. If you look it up in YouTube, they would talk about it as a satanic game, a cult game, which is weird
leave
because...
it to those people who
here's the weird part. Most of the time you were fighting dragons, goblins, and kobolds, and orcs.
Uh-huh.
Think of Lords of the Rings. There was a vampire module, but you were not fighting... demons and devils and
I think anything, they just now reminded people,
not even witches or anything like that. It was more
what I think was cool is a lot of the kids in your building and your neighborhood played.
Yes.
And a lot of the adults actually, the ones that didn't think it was a cold thing, thought it was a good thing because it kept you guys out of trouble.
That is one thing we've always said, that I think our block is a small block in my neighborhood where I grew up. A lot of us were kept out of trouble, I think, because we were just always playing
D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons. D&D.
Okay.
D&D for short. It was, it was just... I mean, it was big across the neighborhoods, but we definitely were really into it a lot.
Okay.
There was a store. There still exists. There were two stores. Complete.
He took me to
Compete Strategist.
Complete Strategist. He took me to that store. It was actually a really cool date.
Yeah. The store actually has not changed. So there was one on 57th Street. If those who know Dungeons and Dragons and grew up in the New York area, you'll know that store. If been playing that long. And then you have the one on 33rd or 32nd. Okay. That one has not changed how it looks. You can look it up on YouTube and you'll see how it looks. That's how it looked in the 80s. A friend of mine...
There was even a guy that worked there.
A friend of mine... Yeah, we went there, and one of the workers, or maybe he was the owner, I don't know. He was there. He was dressed the same way as the 80s.
He was the same.
The jeans, the whole look. We could not believe it. It was so nostalgic just going there.
So what I do have to say is, I mean, some people call it a geeky game or a nerd game. I think it's cool because it's sort of like video games, but...
with your imagination.
With your imagination, exactly.
Right.
So it builds character... It works with your math skills.
Well, so now,
reading.
So now they've actually stated that what D&D brings to the table, like you said, math, reading, teamwork, leadership.
Yep.
A lot of stuff, imagination, a lot of stuff that you will only hear about maybe in Boy Scouts or sports.
Yeah.
Even like Warcraft has some of those features if you're in a guild that you're working in a guild, but. Yeah, you have a lot of that stuff. Imagination, reading, math, and just community teamwork.
Yeah.
If you don't do it together, which,
it
back
takes longer to battle.
it takes longer. And here's the thing. Back then, there had to be like 15 of us easily.
How'd you guys play with that big a crowd?
I have no idea, because we played for 5-6 hours.
It has to
7
be
hours.
a group of at least 10.
Minimum was 10. Now we play with 4 to 5. Right now we're about 2 to 3. It's gonna grow a little bit, but
They had actually, so it's small right now because
It's
there was a
small.
time
we used to play down here.
when they would play down here. I would
Yes.
set up all the tables for them.
Our DM was still here, living in the
yeah,
area.
This is when our DM, which is our our very
Yeah.
close friend, he lived here at the time. Now he moved out of state.
We used to play right here. We had 2 tables. I had some neighbors that played with us. My
I think
kids.
it was a total of 6 of y'all will play down
6,
here.
maybe
Yes.
max 7.
Yes.
I think that is now. If you look online and
That's
you read
more or less
about
the
it,
amount of
even that
people.
actor,
Megliano, Joe
Joe,
Megliano.
yeah, that
Yes.
played. What's that movie from Showtime?
Um,
Blood. I don't know. It was a Showtime movie about vampires and
Oh
werewolves.
yes, he was in that movie too.
Um,
He's also from Magic Mike.
Yeah, it's from Magic Mike. Everybody. It was
Yes,
just-
he's from Magic Mike.
but yeah, he was. He definitely kind of spoke about it that you don't want the group big because then it takes harder
It
to
takes
get
longer.
combat.
And they do
is,
take a long time. 'Cause
combat is the longest thing.
Yes.
It's turn based. It's like, hey, what are you gonna do? You're gonna roll a dice. I'm gonna do this. I'm
and
gonna swing.
rolling the dice kind of makes up decisions for you, depending, right? Or there's certain dice.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So now, here we are, 2024.
Our youngest is playing. He's
Our
taught
youngest
our
is
youngest.
playing.
All 3 of our kids have played at one point in their lives
Yeah,
D&D.
and it's you could go online. They have this thing called D&D Beyond. It was a separate company, but I think they purchased it, and your books are online.
That's pretty cool.
You can use your phone. You can use your tablet. You have your sheet there.
And then now
It's
also,
interactive also. And
Back
you could,
then, you could only create your character on paper. Now
Yes.
you can get your character 3D printed.
yeah, so you have those places online that
Yeah.
do it, and you have people now that commission. There's so many graphics
Which is pretty
artists.
cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of brings your character to
life, absolutely,
it's
absolutely.
something you create in your mind. Now you can have a little action figure of your
So
character.
here's different for me. I've always played a warrior. I think it's called fighter. A fighter, because in Warcraft it's a warrior. Same character, Ares all the
And then
time.
when I used to play, I had an elf character.
Yeah, and right now with this new campaign that I'm playing, we're playing with my younger son. I changed it up. I said I'm going to be a dwarf.
He actually, our youngest son actually told me about it. He says he loves it because you really get into character.
Well, here's the thing. I think first of all, I don't know why dwarves have Irish or Scottish
I know,
accents, but that's
My
always the
son's
case.
always, he goes, Dad has like the coolest accent. He
So-
really gets into it.
So I'll be there, like, somebody will approach us in an alley and say, hey, you got to get out of this alley. And I'll be like, well, laddie. And I'll throw my hammer on the floor. If you're going to have trouble, I'll be swinging this hammer across your heads. First, let me have a pint of ale. And of course, Aiden's like, why always with the ale? And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
He loves it. He
But you bring it. You know what I'm
He
saying?
talks about it all the
And
time.
yeah, I bring it right here. And I didn't do that
Was
with
he get
Ares.
into character too?
I try to get him. He's a dragonborn.
Okay.
So it's a dragon character. I try to get him to it. He does it a little bit. I think he's starting to kind of do it because it gives you that
Adventure.
adventure.
feeling.
Now we had somebody, a friend of ours, play it one time. He played it online.
He had no idea what he was in for.
He,
I heard
like
him.
Cindy, he in 2024, even though Dungeons and Dragons is much more popular now because of stream.
There's still people out there that don't know what it is.
Yeah, he was really quiet.
He had no idea.
He told me honestly, he's like, dude, I had no idea what Dungeons and Dragons was. I'm like, no, why didn't you ask? He's like, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, you had that voice and the way you were talking and everything like that. I'm like,
it's like you got to get into character.
you have to, yeah. If you
That's
want
what makes it fun.
Yes.
I think for the people that play it, that really get into it, it's like they bring the character to life.
Yeah, and it's great now that we can do it. I mean, I would love to have it in person, but doing it over Discord, Zoom,
So that's
whatever.
the new way that they play a lot of people
lot of
with
players-
Discord, which is
yes,
pretty cool.
yes.
So they're keeping it mainstream, like they're changing. It's morphing little by little to
Well, I think you
make
have that
it,
option.
Um,
Like right now, out here in the Northeast, it's called I think it's called Brews and Dungeons or Breweries and Dungeons,
Mm-hmm.
where these breweries have like a day
for D&D.
for D&D.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And they'll have either 1 or 2 DMs, and you could come in there and they have like pre-made sheets, and you do a one-shot day thing. I haven't gotten to it myself, but I've thought about it. But that's seems to be a thing because I've seen it here in New York, New Jersey. I think Philly has it now, so it's spreading.
Okay, pretty cool. I like it because it's actually our youngest is very shy,
Yes.
and it's actually kind of bringing him out of his shell.
Well, he joined the D&D club.
He joined the D&D
at the high
club at
school.
the high school.
So this year will be exciting for
He's
him.
getting, he's getting a little bit more comfortable
Yep.
and coming
Yep.
out of his shell. And I think the D&D, along with the fencing, I think the D&D is helping him
Yes.
to be a little bit more open.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. If you have a kid that's very shy and quiet, I think D&D helps them.
Now here's still on D&D. There is a gentleman that's been playing Dungeons and Dragons, same campaign
Really?
for I think was 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. He has people that play online. He has people that come and that have moved away and they come and play. And his daughter plays it, and her boyfriend was playing with it.
Oh, wow.
Playing. Now here was the kicker on it. He had told her, she was young. I know for a fact this relationship is not going to last forever. If it does, hey, it's great. But even though the relationship ends, he can't leave. He's part of the campaign already. Yeah.
Hopefully she married the guy.
No, they weren't together no more, but they worked at,
Oh
like I
my
said, she was
God.
young.
That
You know?
must have been very interesting.
Yeah, he told her, like, listen, you're going to do this. I know the relationship is not going to last, but he has to stay. He's part of the campaign.
So he stayed in the
Yeah,
campaign,
so
even
and he
though-
has people that come in and out, and usually DMs, even
That's
now
very
DMs.
interesting. I didn't know about that.
DMs are really good of, hey, if you're gone for a couple of months,
They
he
work
works
it
that
back
into
in.
the story.
Kind of like
and it
a
works
script.
yeah, kind of like back in the day when soap operas in the 80s, people would die,
And then they bring him back.
and then they would bring them back. We should have a whole episode of that. Like, in the next town, he had amnesia. Like, what? Nobody checked the next town hospitals? I mean, come on.
Well, I
But
guess
anyway.
you could do it on games too.
Yeah, so we do it in games. We do it in D&D.
Okay, so I like that. I like that my youngest is in.
Now, there's other
helping
games.
him.
I used to do Heroes Unlimited.
I remember the Heroes. I remember
did
making
Top Secret.
characters. Yes, I
Top
remember that
Secret
one
was an
too.
espionage game.
So it
so-
has branched out into other.
Oh, I mean, there's so many. When you go into that one store, complete strategist,
strategy.
you just realize how many board games are out there that you've never ever heard
That's
of.
pretty cool.
And you get overwhelmed. I mean, if you're into those big,
So he's taking me to the store. When are you gonna take the boys?
I thought about that. I think if it's
think-
not a hot Sunday or a Saturday, but an 80-degree weather that would go down there and
So you maybe like late August, early September.
yeah.
Like go for a hangout
Because
day.
I'm
in the
trying to
city.
think if Jeremy's been to it or not. I don't think
I
so.
don't know if you've taken him.
Yeah, so I'll probably take both of
Maybe
them.
no, you have taken him because then also you went looking for one here in New Jersey, a store that had some of these things.
Yeah.
Even though now they even sell that at Target.
Yes.
I saw D&D books at Target.
That's right, yeah.
Because I was like, babe, they got a D&D section.
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
was like, no way.
Yeah, I was
So
surprised.
it's kind
but
of branching out
it's,
there.
Yeah, it's otherwise you would have to go to Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble's always had the books.
Barnes & Noble's or complete strategy, or you could order it online.
You can order it, yeah. But
You know.
now, you have the digital and you go online.
I think it's an experience taking them to a store.
I mean, for me, the store looks a little different because you would come up these stairs and on the left side was the magazine rack. And, that was like, hey, your Dragon magazine and your Dungeon magazine. I saw a video the other day of the store and there was like chairs. So the magazine rack was gone. I was like, man, it's gone.
Oh, it's not going to stay the same.
No, I know, but store looks the same. I mean, it's just
nostalgic.
it is packed so high. You would think these things are gonna just fall over because.
But some of those things have dust on them. You could,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
they're probably really, really cool. They're
Yeah.
very limited editions.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that our kids have played D&D and have had the chance to
Experience
experience it because
Yeah.
it's an experience when you play
Yeah.
these games.
Well, I think
I played before. So.
Like I said, Stranger Things really kind of brought it to light that first season.
Now the funny thing is, I'm in a book club and I'm on the wait list for this book
I
club.
didn't even know that. I think we spoke about
So-
this, but wait list for book clubs. But
his D&D
Cool.
club is kind of the same thing because you have people actually waiting right now. You let them so they.
we have a
come and
person
play
that we got to
here.
make their sheet.
Yes.
We got space, which is good because if my oldest son is working, he can't play, so it's just sometimes me and Aiden. So bringing another person in, and hopefully, when he goes to school, maybe another teenager from his school and stuff like that.
I actually miss the days when you guys used to play down here.
Because now
I used to enjoy it.
we have. Well, so here's how we would do it. The DM will come. I would have some beers. He would bring like 1 or 2 growlers, or I will order a growler. He will bring it.
And I would make the snacks.
And we would play till about 1 o'clock, 1:30.
Yep.
Yeah. It was just like in that interview with Joe and Sophia.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had no idea about it, but all she knew is she'd come downstairs
With
and
the coffee and the
she was
snacks.
like, I brought the coffee and the snacks, and
So I do the same thing.
yeah, she did. You know,
I come down here with coffee or whatever they need or snacks, somewhere around 11 midnight.
11ish.
Check to see if they need anything.
Get them going again and stuff like
wake them
that.
up. So, I kind of miss doing it because it would kind of be like his hangout time down here with everybody else, and then I'd get my girl movie time upstairs while they played their games.
Yeah.
So I do miss it.
Well, we'll get back into it. I think for the next 2 weeks, where he's busy, I'm busy. Probably towards not mid-August, right after the mid-August, so that third week, we'll probably get back into it. Bring another person in, get their sheet made.
I think maybe in the fall. That's where we get into our hibernation season.
Well, yeah,
so
I mean,
I think that'd be cool.
Where's the fall decorations?
No, I'm not ready for
We
fall.
should put some fall decorations.
No.
Some leaves and a squirrel.
No.
No?
No.
All right.
It's still July.
For-
Maybe one more day, but it's still
All
July.
right. So anyway, definitely if you play Dungeons and Dragons,
Yep.
comment below and tell me how long. Like I said, I've been playing since the 80s.
I think it's really cool. Like I said, it builds character. It helps them with their imagination, with
Yeah.
their math, their
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah. It has a lot of good qualities.
It has a lot of good.
There's nothing
qualities.
there's no satanic stuff.
No.
We're not fighting demons. I mean, I guess you could, but it's really not common in the
No,
game.
I think it's fun though.
Yeah.
I think kids should try it out. I'm glad that he joined that school, and he's getting involved in that. I think it's helping him.
Yeah.
So
So-
I think it's awesome.
All right, everybody. I think we've covered this topic
We
of
covered
Dungeons
the
and Dragons. So
D&D topic.
one of my downtimes, or what I do on a weekend sometimes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You got your book reading.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
Warcraft and Dungeons and Dragons.
This is what happens when you marry a geek.
Wow, really? Yeah, but I also was out there. I didn't just.
No, he's okay. He's half geek.
Yeah,
Let's say that way.
I played
He's half
sports. I
geek.
played football and stuff like that. When my neighborhood and stuff. I wasn't totally indoors.
No, I mean all the guys in your neighborhood, they all played D&D. They
Yeah.
weren't all
See, yeah.
geeks,
Yeah.
full geeks.
Yeah. What about Joe from
I said not full geeks.
Magic Mike?
A little bit of
See?
a geek. A little bit of a geek.
Yeah.
He
All right.
said it. He said it.
Yeah,
He's a
there
little
you
bit
go.
of a geek.
So anybody, excuse me. I don't even know where that came from. Everybody.
So, follow, like, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram. I know we don't put too much on the Instagram.
No, we're trying to grow it.
We're trying to grow it, but we're also on our downtime. We just came back from vacation about
We
a
did,
week and
we
a half
did, we
ago. And we're prepping for fencing camp and getting back into the stripe of things.
Yes.
And just seeing how the summer goes. But we're trying to keep track
And
of everything.
I did notice I did a mix up where I think I placed 2 videos in one day. It was supposed to be like a Thursday and a
Things
Tuesday.
like that happen when you're on vacation.
But when you're on vacation, you're getting
At
things
least
ready.
you uploaded stuff.
I uploaded stuff. Yes. So anyway, everybody, take care out there.
Take care, everybody.
And comment and like and share.
Bye.
Bye.